tease. Yo, we gotta stop expecting people to like be accountable for characteristic traits that we don't like about them. Think about that, because you can't change nobody. It don't matter how much talking you do. You cannot change how somebody deliver a message. You can't change how somebody think about themselves. You can't change about how someone think about whatever y'all all experiencing together. The only thing you can do is take responsibility for the position you allow that person to be in relation to you and what y'all so-called doing together. Friends, family, relationship, business, whatever the fuck. You take accountability. You take responsibility. You don't have to be involved with this person. You don't have to talk to this person every day. You don't have to think about what this person is doing every day. Like, they're not the problem. If you stressed out about it, you are the problem. Take responsibility for what you got yourself in and move on. Move on. Let it go. If you ain't fucking with the vibe no more, if all you can think, if everything you can think of is some negative outweighing a positive, remove it from around you. Like, don't be scared. Being scared is crazy when you technically in the present already experiencing the worst. Anything that's not in the present, aka in your mind, if it's in your mind like, oh, I'm scared the future gonna turn out like this, that's not real. You have not seen the future. If you're basing the future off the past, that's not real. That's not what you created. That's what you already experienced. Like, and no, that is what you created. But you already experienced it. So if you base it off the past and say, well, I seen it already, you're gonna create that again and again and again and again till you look at it differently, or until you do something differently. It's like being in a box. You, as a human, our evolution strives on experiencing different things at different places at different times with different people. You don't learn nothing new if you in the box. If you just in the box looking at the same cardboard, brown, white, pink fucking wall 24/7, you're gonna become a box. You gonna like, so if you in this box and your soul reaching for more, but you don't know more, you have to like realize that you're in a box. Like, cause your soul reaching for more, and it's a friction that's telling you that there's more. But if you can't let go of the fact that, you know, well, all I know is this box, and this box that's keeping me safe, whatever the fuck, as a human, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm a god. I see the boxes, and I look at it like, I see that I can see the box. The box wouldn't exist if I didn't look at the box. If I just close my eyes, there's more. When I sit in silence, there's more. First there's nothing, and then there's more. You have to be able to stay calm in the midst of conflict in your own mind to be able to get outside the box. The more you crashing out, that's like you if you crashing out about what you seeing in a box, like in, you know what I'm saying, like if you crashing out about what you are experiencing, it's you're giving more credibility to that than to yourself. You feel like you can't change it. You feel like you can't do nothing about it. You feel like you're the problem, and you feel that way because you are. You create your own reality. Facts. Simple as that. If you don't like what you're experiencing, you got everything you need to change it, and all you need is your touch, smell, sight, hearing, and taste. That's everything you need to change your fucking mind. I don't like how this feels. I don't like how that tastes. Oh, I do like how that tastes. And I don't like how that look. And then think about these things. Why don't you like how it look? You don't like how it look because of it looks similar to something you already experienced, and you looking at all the negatives rather than looking at both the negatives and the positive, but you letting the negative outweigh the positive somewhere else. So it's like you see, it could be a person who offers something, and they remind you of a person in the past that fucked you over. If something reminds you with the new person or the old person, and you allow your past experience to outweigh the positive things that this person is offering based off of something that this person didn't display because they remind you of another thing, that's crazy. that's you having the same thoughts. If you know you've been praying for more, affirming more, and speaking more into your life, those are like that negative annotation that comes from being reminded of something negative in the past is the temptation that holds you back. Like, you're drawn to try to protect yourself. You're drawn to it to try to protect yourself. Like, you know what? No, I ain't gonna fuck with that person. And you don't even know. You didn't fully get to know that person. You was too busy outweighing the positive with what you thought would be the negative. You cannot see the future. Now, when you are able to look at these patterns within a person, and it's really just being able to pay attention, not allowing the negative to outweigh the positive, or not allowing the what make you feel attracted to something outweigh what don't align with you. You have to be able to discern these things. Like, okay, yeah, this feel good, but what you talking about don't align. Like, this sound good, this structure sound good, this whatever, this organization is, it sound good, but then you have to still listen. Like, yeah, these structures are here, but are these structures aligning with your structure, like what you want to build? Like, you gotta work together. And it's a thing that people do. It's like they getting to know each other. They getting to know each other in the beginning, and they do peep what's not gonna work. But out of the fear of not getting better, they try to make it work. They try to make it work. But honestly, man, all things are simple, yet all things are complex. Every situation is different. But like, my point is, make sure you like everything is in alignment. Make sure everything is in alignment with yourself, your routine, how you structure your day. If if something is fucking up the structures in your day, like you like to wake up and eat breakfast, you like to wake up and stretch and be prepared to go outside, you got to make sure you take a shit before you go outside, shower or whatever. If these things are those are your fundamentals, those are like this is who I am before I, like, this is me building myself before I go outside today. This is me looking in the mirror, affirming myself. If something that you go experience outside take you out of them structures, it ain't for you. It's not in alignment. It's not in alignment. Cause look, you all that energy you get from taking care of yourself, you feeling real good. You ain't even gotta feel extremely energetic, but you feel good. You feel light because you created yourself. If you go to a job, a party, any fucking where, if you go to a family member house, friend house, you hanging out, whatever the fuck, a bar, food. If you go in that bitch and you start feeling weird, you don't feel like the same person you was before you stepped in that bitch. You start like questioning yourself, man. It's your environment. It's what you it ain't like, and it's not a bad thing. It's just pay attention to these things. Like, just pay attention to these things. Cause like these is our guides. What we feel is our guide. And the first thing we think about what we feel is not always the right answer. We have to feel it, connect with it, and be able to let it go. Because if you hold on to a feeling, especially a feeling that you didn't like, you trying to avoid that feeling creates more of that feeling. Like, oh, this person fucked me over, I don't want to feel that again, I don't want to experience that again, so I'm gonna make sure I look for these traits right here in every single like the specific event that took place that made y'all, fall out or whatever. If you look for that, like the so-called signs of that, you gonna miss it, because you gonna think everything they do is a sign of that. Now, if you let that shit go and you genuinely connect with somebody without expecting them to be a certain way, or like what you're doing is actually devaluing them, and you devaluing yourself if you expect anything from anybody. Like, subconsciously, like, oh, you gotta do this, or you gotta speak like this, or you gotta know this. Like, that's devalue, because each person is an individual. Each person play a position. Each person think and feel differently, like, and believe differently. A lot of people out here believe about God, but as soon as they get and talk about what God is, they done started a war. Like, come on, bro. No expectations. Stand on principles. Principles, you know, pay attention. Make sure things are consistent. Like, my bad, I thought something was on my hand, but somebody saying something, they gotta stand on it. And you ain't gotta be rigid about it either. Cause ain't nobody perfect. Things come up, shit happens. But back to that atmosphere. If somebody say something and they not doing it, you constantly gotta keep saying something, and you constantly complaining about it and venting about it, and nothing is changing, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where it's like it's people pleasing. Y'all probably didn't align in the beginning. You not aligning later on, it's a bunch of resentment built up. Y'all probably didn't align in the beginning, and that's not that person's fault. That's your fault. That's You have to take responsibility for that. You chose to connect with this person, like, and then even if you didn't choose, like it's your parent, whatever. I can cut my parent off. This is this and that, but you're constantly getting abused. Cut that bitch off. Male or female, cut that bitch off. Flat out. Yo mental health, your physical health, all that shit is way more important than the inconsistent motherfucker. Your vision is bigger than an inconsistent motherfucker. Like, move on. Flat out. And tired of hearing shit. I'm tired of hearing this shit. People. I don't complain, bro. I don't sit up here and complain, because that shit give me more reasons to complain. That to sit there and keep reiterating, creating the feeling that I felt 2 days ago because something happened, to keep talking about it and thinking about it and being fucked up over it. That's you. That's you in your mind, in your higher dimensions. You keep accumulating on that. Eventually you forget. Because when you forget, you just that's when you start believing. When you forget about it, you believe it, and then you really start seeing it. So the way we be programming our minds to believe fucked up shit, we need to be consistently reprogramming, deconditioning, and integrating new thoughts, the thoughts that we want to think. Like, why do I keep when I tell you it's so simple as picking up a pen and paper and telling yourself that you beautiful, I love you. You say this to yourself and you do it every single day, your thoughts gonna change, your reality gonna change. You're gonna be calmer, like peaceful, all of that. Like, it's literally that simple. It don't take shit to acquire a notebook, a pencil, and write affirmations. Write what you want to do. Write what you want out of life. Write how you want it structured. How do you, like, we know these things about ourselves. I like to wake up at this time. I like to do this when I wake up. I like to drink this and smoke this, and we know all of this shit. So if that's what you want, if you want all of that to be perfect and lined up so you can have a golden day every day, you write that shit down. You have to write that shit down. You have to create it for yourself. Otherwise, you thinking about it in your mind and it only feel good in your mind. You telling people, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. It feel good, but you haven't wrote it down. So you just had that conversation. You just said it, and but then you forget about it. You gotta, cause you got all these things stressing you out. I gotta do this. I gotta go do that. I gotta, all these so-called responsibilities. Your health is your first responsibility. Like, I'm gonna end the video here though, cause like 2020.